Okay, so our writing assignment this week is going to be a procedural one. So I've listed here 5 possible topics that you can choose from. You pick one, okay? So you're going to give a set of instructions for either how do you tie your shoes, how do you build a snowman, how do you make your favorite sandwich, how do you create a Google Doc, or how do you play Manhunt. So you pick one of those 5. When you do your topic, I've listed our success criteria below, and it's not quite finished, so I'm going to ask for your help in finishing it. So the learning goal is to write instructions that clearly and accurately teach others how to complete a task. The task being one of those 5 topics that you're choosing from. So our success criteria is that you include a clear goal for your procedure. List specific materials and the quantities of the materials that you need for your procedure. So for example, if you're doing how to make a sandwich, you need to list what you're going to need in order to make the sandwich. Quantities means how many of those things. So, how many slices of bread will you need? Well, maybe you're making a triple-decker sandwich, you may need 3 slices. If you're only doing a standard peanut butter and jam, you might need 2. So you need to be specific about the quantity, meaning how much, and the materials that you need. You're going to break down your instructions into a step-by-step sequence. So assume the person knows absolutely nothing about what you're going to be doing. So if you're going to describe how to create a Google Doc, assume they know nothing about how to do that. Okay? What else do we need to include in our success criteria to do a good procedure? And procedural writing's not new. So what else do we need to include? Dawson? Okay. Yeah?
More information on it.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Like, if you're saying doing a sandwich, you do the information on what you're going to be doing before you say you need all this stuff, and then it's like, say you need 2 pieces of bread, but they don't know what kind of sandwich you're making. You're just going to start saying the things, but you have to tell them what you're making first.
Right, so I think that goes back to include a clear goal for your procedure so that they know what the end game is. Okay, yep.
You need proper grammar.
Okay, so let's go into that editing piece then. So we're going to edit for grammar. What else? Yep.
Punctuation.
Punctuation. Spelling. Paragraph. Are we going to do paragraph form?
No.
In procedural writing,
we're doing step by step.
we're going to do it step by step. So what? If instead of writing paragraph form, what should we be doing?
Step by step.
Step by step.
So what does that look like though? What are you going to include if we're giving steps?
A new, like, 1 dot, and then you write it, and then you do a period.
Okay, so we're going to include numbers to let's say label each step. Okay.
And I need to check the capitals.
Yeah. I'm going to put this up here. And I'm going to say capitals and lowercase because some of you are still including capitals where you shouldn't have them. So capitals and lowercase letters. Right? Anything else in the editing? Okay. I want to take what you were saying about paragraph form, and I think I would like to make it its own point on its own. So when we're doing paragraph writing, we're going to slide this number step up. We're going to use numbers to label each step. And let's be even more specific than that. Label each step. Does it matter what order?
Yes.
Absolutely, that's important.
Like if you're making a sandwich.
So use numbers to label each step in order.
Why are we using
Okay.
sandwich?
Then edit for grammar, capitals and lowercase letters, punctuation, and then and spelling.
That's what happened last time.
Okay. Stop.
Be specific.
Okay.
Specify.
Tell me about that. How can we expand on that? Yes, we need to be specific.
Be specific, like say you're creating a Google Doc. You don't just say, now press create, and then you have your doc. Like, you have to say press create on your left hand side of your screen, and then press Google Doc.
So we're going to be specific, and we're going to use lots of detail.
You have to show how to sign in.
Okay. Anything else we need to include for procedural writing? Okay. At this point, this success criteria we're going to use for our homework. I'm also going to say that this is a work in progress. As you're writing your steps for those different tasks, I want you to think about the success criteria and what you're doing that you think is going to make this even better. And how can we improve our success criteria? Because I don't think we're quite there yet. Tanner?
Don't you have to add like a title of what you're making?
See, and there's another piece that we. So, let's add it towards the top. So, include a clear goal for my procedure. We're going to write a title to define
What you're doing.
what your procedure is. Okay? Yep. Okay. So you think we should include pictures with each of our steps, or one picture overall? What were you thinking? Okay. Well, what do you think is going, if we're thinking about doing the best possible procedure for somebody who doesn't know how to do something, what do you think is going to be most helpful?
To do it step by step and overall.
Okay, so why don't we put it with break down my instructions into a step-by-step sequence. We'll add them in here. So include detailed pictures that support our writing. Does that capture what you're thinking? Okay. Yep.
Will you be doing them in a Google Doc
Okay, great question. Are we doing it in a Google Doc or are we doing it in a writing notebook? At this point, my plan is to print this off and put it in your writing notebook. If you choose to do it in a Google Doc, you just need to print it off during homework club and then glue it into your homework book, so I'll have all the homework books. So it's really up to you. Yep.
Don't you have to make a closing sentence?
On a procedural writing piece, you're going to have your steps.
Like, have you learned how to make a sandwich now?
We don't have to include that.
They should know how to put the
By the final step, they should have their final product.
Okay.
Okay?
like subtitles, like the title, creating the sandwich.
If
How
you'd
to
like
get
to
them.
include subtitles, I think you can. They aren't necessarily a requirement for procedural writing as long as you have your steps. Yep.
Can you create a video on how to do it?
I'm looking for writing.
With writing?
The procedural writing is the task. So at this point, I'm good with pictures. Maybe at some point we'll get into doing some video, but at this point, I'd like to stick to just doing writing. Other questions about what we are doing and the expectations? Okay. Oh, two more questions. Yep.
Can you write like after the step, like, and then you do blah blah blah, like not with the step?
It should be part of your step.
Yeah, but like it would.
Can you give me an example?
I don't know.
You can make it up.
Okay. Say I was doing how to create a Google Doc,
Yep.
and then so I would have my title, and then I would do like a couple sentences or something, and then the first step.
So that's where you'd be laying out your clear goal for the procedure. So you might have a couple sentences that say, the goal of this procedure is to create a Google document.
Good morning, everyone. Today is